before the shooting
And he spit
of a
on him?
man who appears to be Pretti being not so peaceful. The Pretti family attorney and family members confirmed to the Minnesota Star Tribune that the person in the video is Pretti. CNN reported that Pretti had a broken rib from an altercation with federal agents a week before his death. CNN claimed Pretti was just driving around minding his own business when he saw ICE agents chasing an immigrant family down the street. He went after them, jumped out of his car to help the family, then was tackled. Now, if this is the incident, it looks like CNN had bad sources. This video shows the individual with similar clothing and what looks and appears to be a handgun in the same place that it was at the time of the shooting, kicking the taillight out of a federal vehicle in the middle of an apprehension operation and then violently resisting arrest. At one point, it even looks like he spits at the window of the ICE agent's vehicle. Homeland Security tells us the video is under investigation. This doesn't mean that his shooting a week later was justified. That's still under investigation. But it does paint a different picture of who Pretti was and the kind of violent attacks.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. We should have waited for stuff like this to come out instead of Christy Gnomes and Bovino coming out saying, oh, he's a domestic terrorist, he's an assassin. Stephen Miller, like, oh, he's an assassin. He was trying to walk up to cause maximal damage. And let's be real, the footage does not show that whatsoever. I'm not sure why they went out with that rhetoric. They only made themselves look dumb doing it. And instead, they could have just waited for this to come out and then, give their opinions on that, or, tell us what they see with this new footage that's being released. But just jumping off the porch, oh, they're all domestic terrorists. Yeah, that's not it. I mean, even with Renee Good, they're trying to call her a domestic terrorist. And I'm just like, no, sorry, guys. Like, did she put herself in that situation to get shot? Is that shot going to go down in self-defense? Of course. Alex Pretti, honestly, same thing. But this one may not. It's just a wrongful death. This one, both of them are wrongful deaths. But in Alex Petty's part, it looks like there was a gun that went off or that might have misfired and ended up to him getting shot like that.
ICE and Border Patrol have to deal with while they're arresting criminal aliens. The same thing happened with Renee Good. The media tells us she was just a random woman stuck in traffic after dropping her kid off at school. But later we learned she was a trained ICE Watch warrior out to cause trouble. Again, that doesn't mean...
What a lot of people don't understand is that, look, one, I mean, let's be honest. When 4 officers tell you to get out the car, if you got common sense, you're going to get out the car. I would hope.
ICE Watch
now,
warrior.
When an officer is literally trying to open your door, common sense, would tell you, no, maybe I should have moved my car back. I would hope it would tell you that. And here's the crazy, when she moved her car back, she put the ICE officer in front of the car when she did that.
Out to cause trouble.
And that's why it surprised them.
That doesn't mean she deserved to die. But the media is whipping people up with phony obituaries.
I mean, the worst part about it is that, left-wing media is like, oh, murder, murder, murder. But I'm like, what happened to due process? What happened to innocent till proven guilty? And you guys can't prove that he came out there premeditated, wanting to kill her. He didn't even know her until that day. Didn't even really know her name, most likely.
That don't tell the whole story. It's why Democrats running for office are flocking to Minneapolis for photo ops.
In a real sense, this is holy ground. Consecrated by blood spilled here. I had to be here to stand in the very place where this tragedy unfurled, not only for Alex Pretti, but for Renee Good, for George Floyd.
Reverend Warnock just suggested Floyd and the 2 ICE watchers were like Jesus. It's a crime scene, not a cross, Reverend. Laken Riley was Warnock's constituent in Georgia. I never saw him broken up about her, but now he's flying to other states and crying. Tim Walz made an appearance at the memorial today. Watch.
We're just personally paying our respects.
Sure.
My wife and I.
And do you believe that there will be a shift in tone here from the administration after your conversation with the president here on the streets?
I'm not so interested in a shift of tone. We just need them out of here. We need accountability for what's happening.
No, dog. You need a shift in tone. You put your people up to this because you want to call them Gestapo and Nazis, which they're not. You wanted to sit there and put the fear in your people, talking about, oh, they'll disappear you and take you to a foreign torture dungeon. All words Tim Walz has said, by the way. Yeah, you don't think that's going to cause some type of unnecessary fear, like, in these people? Because let's be real, the reason why Renee Good acted like that, she overreacted because out of fear of what she's been hearing. Well, Tim Walz say, left-wing media say, they're Gestapos, Nazis, they want to take you away and disappear you. Now, what do you think people are going to do when they hear that rhetoric all day and they finally come in contact with ICE? They're going to overreact. And this is what you guys have led people to do. Like, Tim Walz is the worst offender. And here's the thing. I mean, what makes it even worse is he could have brought in the National Guard to help with the protests instead of just protecting federal buildings. And that would have kept people like Renee Good and Alex Pretti alive. I mean, Jacob Fry, he could have brought in national police. Working with efforts with, local towns and cities, he could have brought in their police as well to help out with crowd enforcement or crowd control. I mean, all this could have been done, but it wasn't. And now y'all want to sit here and try to blame it like it's all on ICE. I mean, no, this is the failure of leadership in Minneapolis and Minnesota.
Walz is speaking out of both sides of his mouth. On the phone with Trump, he says he's going to work with ICE as long as Bovino leaves and cooperate and hand over the bad guys. Then he hits the streets and tells the press ICE has got to go. Yesterday, the mob stormed into the Capitol building and hollered at his office. Why? Oh, because they said Tim's a traitor for doing business with Trump and Homan.
Yep.
Tom Homan's professional, which is a lot more than Bovino and Christie Nome. Tom Homan landed last night.
And that's what I said. I feel bad for the Democratic base because y'all you radicalize your base too much. You radicalize them too much. Now when you're doing the common sense thing, showing that common decency or actually going out there trying to protect your constituents, they think you're betraying them. It's like, yeah, you walked yourself into this by calling ICE Gestapo. Now they're thinking that you're working with the Gestapo and Nazis by talking to Homan. Off your own rhetoric, Tim Walz, his own rhetoric.
And he called me last night and asked if he could have a meeting, and he was there at 9 o'clock. So, look, I think that's progress, but they started this fire, so we're not giving anybody credit for putting it out.
Walz keeps changing his tune depending on who he's talking to because he's under investigation by the Department of Justice. One case for obstructing federal law enforcement, another for Somali fraud. Walz needed to broker an ICE peace deal with Trump. PBD was on primetime last night. Watch this.
I think he's also trying to make sure he's protected long term. I don't know what happens on these calls. I would only say I don't know what he's going to ask for. Wink, wink. Hey, if I work with you on this, can I get a pardon? I don't know what the guy's going to be asking the president. These guys have a lot of audacity.
Look at Walz today, sending out fundraising messages, asking for money so he can hire lawyers. The email says, if you're with me, please rush a donation. Walz is going to have to spend hundreds.
I mean, like, you see this? It's like, bro, it's like, I'm going to be real with you, ma'am. You're misinformed. Actually, you're truly uninformed. You're probably one of those uneducated people that think, oh, ICE, they're untrained when they're mostly veterans and ex-law enforcement. You're probably one, no, he doesn't have dignity or compassion. Like, how could you sit there and say that when he could have been brought out the National Guard, been brought out local police and surrounding local police to protect his constituents, but didn't? He let them become protesters and cross that line into obstruction that's been getting these people hurt and killed. But you say he has compassion for his people? Are you dumb? Compassion for his people. He'd have took the proactive approach to make sure that this could have never even happened. Make sure there's crowd control. And guess what? The only time he brings out the police for crowd control is when they're harming private property. So no, he doesn't give a damn about his people. And how can you even sit there and say that after this? When there should have been crowd control out there to keep Renee Good out of the street, so that would have never happened. To keep Alex Pretti out the street, so that would have never happened. So how can you even sit there and fix your fingers to even type that?
Of thousands of dollars defending himself in the Somali fraud case, and he's broke. Just in 2024, he disclosed he only has between $15,000 and $50,000 in cash and in savings. It's going to cost at least 50 G's for the retainer. These guys charge $1,000 to $2,000 an hour to fight federal charges. Hunter Biden spent between $5 and $10 million on lawyers. Or his sugar daddy did. Does Walz have a sugar daddy? I don't think so. And Walz can't take a lot of credit out
Shoot,
on
he didn't need it in the end. He got pardoned.
his house because he doesn't own one. In federal investigations like this, prosecutors are going to get targets to flip and name big names. Omar, Keith Ellison, Walz, he's the biggest. We already know he blew off whistleblowers, and his staff was caught doctoring documents in a cover-up, while millions of dollars are flying out of the Minneapolis airport. Maybe some money winds up in the hands of terrorists. Walz could lose everything if he's found guilty. Of course, he's going to hand over the bad hombres. That's what any rational person would do in his position. But Trump prosecutors aren't done. Just last night, Homeland Security took down 16 ICE rioters. Pam Bondi flew into town, and she says she's about to bring a boatload of cases. These aren't your run-of-the-mill, salt-to-the-earth, peace and love protesters. These guys are hardcore. The women are gnarly. Even Somalis. This is Nasra Ahmed. We don't really know what she does or who she is, but Minnesota Democrats brought her out and let her tell her story last week. Listen.
I remember this.
To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's like a cultural fusion.
I mean, y'all couldn't find a more intelligent Somali. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna be honest. You couldn't find a more well-spoken young lady to do this for her. You couldn't give her a spokesman, because this makes her look bad. I'm being quite honest with you, because bruh.
It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of
It's like
banana
bananas
and
and
rice.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I don't believe in this personally, but I see why they be trying to say these people got a 67 average IQ, bro. Because, you know, guys, it can be also confusing sometimes being up there and all that good stuff. It can leave a very unpleasant taste or feel like, you know, like bananas and rice.
We're not really sure what that means, but she was just arrested for assaulting federal cops.
Oh.
The whole thing's gotten kind of weird in Minneapolis. Last night, Omar held a town hall and someone stood up and squirted her with some liquid.
I don't know.
Unacceptable.
Oh my God, he's spraying something on
Here's the
us.
thing, though. As much as I don't really like Ilhan Omar or anything she really says, I don't think she should be attacked whatsoever. It's like, I remember I said this is like, look, I may not like Kamala Harris or really any of these Democratic women, but you better not touch a hair on their head. Like, at the end of the day, one, they're still a woman and they're an American woman. So, I mean, as a man, they're under your protection. So to sit there and wish any type of harm on any of these women is unacceptable. And I'm be real with you, you're not really a real man. I mean, regardless of their political ideology, you shouldn't wish harm on anybody. I mean, and especially women. Like, come on now.
Now, thank God that wasn't some sort of chemical agent. She could have been seriously hurt. CNN confirmed that it was just a little apple cider vinegar. Trump said it wouldn't surprise him if it was an inside job, but so far there's no evidence of that. But the FBI is investigating, and they'll find out exactly what happened. But if you want to talk about crazy, former Governor Jesse the Body Ventura, no relation, is calling on Minnesota to secede from the union.
How about since Trump dislikes Minnesota so bad and we're so out of control, let's join Canada. Instead of Canada becoming the 51st state of America and lose their health care, like they said, I'd like to see Minnesota, all of us become Canadians. It's obvious Donald Trump don't want us.
We love Minnesota. It's like one of the most beautiful states in the union. We just don't like it when they steal $8 billion and harbor foreign child molesters. Wisconsin.
No, that's the funniest part about it. Like, somebody in the chat just did this right here. They said, like, here's, this, like, people like this are hilarious to me. You want to know why? Because, these ICE protesters, they're protecting pedophiles, right? They're like helping pedophiles get away from ICE law enforcement. You know, Renee Good, when they were doing their little investigation or operation, they was looking for a child molester. So here you guys are crying about Trump and pedophilia, and I mean, trust me, there's no proof on that. There's nothing you can show me that substantiates that. But here you guys are protesting in the streets, protecting pedophiles. I mean, I'm sorry, but y'all lost the argument on that. And no, look it up. When ICE is actually going out there and you guys are protesting them, getting in their way, you're protecting pedophiles pretty much.
Washington's not doing that. Michigan's not doing that. What kind of state riots to keep killers and fraudsters on their streets? Other Democrats are jealous that Tampon's getting all of this resistance press, so now they're all using the N-word.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are. In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them. If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identity.
So you don't think rhetoric like this is going to get people to, obstruct ICE and get them hurt or killed? Like, it's like I said, it's a rhetoric like this that the left want to sit there and pretend that don't exist. You guys are literally turning your base to get, violent against ICE. Then when things happen to the base that you radicalize, you guys want to sit there and play victim. That's just how y'all playing it right now. And it's kind of pathetic.
We will find you. We will achieve justice.
That was Uncle Larry Krasner, Philly DA. The streets love Uncle Larry because he keeps the jails empty. The only person they want in jail in this country is Trump and Miller.
Stephen Miller, like a man named Ben Detson, he was the one who created the internment camps for Japanese. Heinrich Himmler in the Nazi regime. This is what he is. People like Stephen Miller will go down in history as.
Where's the concentration camps? I'm so confused. Where are they at? How are we in a Nazi regime if there's people in my chat right now that can call the supreme leader, Fuhrer Trump, a pedophile and that are not in jail or in the gulags? Like, what's going on? I thought we were in this Praetorian Nazi regime, guys. I guess what you're saying just don't stand up to reality. But shout out to my man Jet, man, for the 5. Appreciate the support, my brother. He said ICE making Dems pro-Second Amendment now, along with deporting illegals nationwide, and that Somali fraud got her eating caviar and steak, not bananas and rice. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, God. Hey, man. Hey, Shay, she might actually be benefiting from it. Now, our girl Lily and Omar, you know what's crazy? Like I said, everybody was going off on her and like, she married her brother, which is not true. But she did definitely do some fraud with her third husband that she cheated on her second husband with. So, I mean, hey, you guys can run off with that. That's the real story. The whole brother part, that's a distraction to keep you away from that real story.
Evil, had blood on his hands, and should be jailed at the very end of this.
You weren't allowed to.
Oh, and her third husband is white, by the way. So, yeah, I know. Somali fraud mixed with the white collar fraud.
COVID, the China virus, remember? But you can go out and call the White House deputy chief of staff a Nazi, and the guy's Jewish. Now the Democrats are back to talking about lynchings. Listen.
Oh, no, it didn't. Whoa. Calling for the hanging of a woman is crazy, bro. I mean, like I said, yeah, see how radicalized they are. Hey, hold on. Wasn't this the same group that got that lost their shit when the January 6th, a small group of January 6ers was yelling, hang Pence? Now, will y'all show the same outrage towards this? Actually, let me make sure I save this little part right here, though, because I'll be honest with you. I just want to know, are y'all real enough to keep that same energy? Condemn this just like you condemn when the January 6th said hang Pence. Please, show some consistency.
And the most unpopular mayor in the country with the most homicides in the nation just joined the party.
As it relates to Gregory Bavino, we've seen examples of other forms of tyranny that have led to concentration camps and the annihilation or the attempt annihilation of people groups.
Oh, guys, we got like, well, about 200 of y'all in here, man. Go ahead and double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Let's get that likes up to 100. We got 83. Let's not forget to double tap that screen and like the video.
Okay. The Holocaust Museum just spanked Walz for comparing illegals to Anne Frank. If you guys are watching, that was the mayor of Chicago. A little bit of a stretch.
Hey, yo, and shout out to my man Gary Jr. on Rumble. And guys, you could also follow me on Rumble as well at S.E.T Media. Sorry, my man, I just pulled this up, but he said Michigan is a cesspool of corruption all the way down to township. Damn, all the way down to township. Our governor even got away with genocide. Damn, hold on, with genocide. So money laundering is just a extra kick in the balls. Damn. He's like, prices and taxes are insanely high. And I'm sorry, bro, but that's just all blue states. Shout out to my man Gary, because he's on Rumble, pretty much Rumble ranting this in. And no, he's not wrong. For some reason, in these blue states, they'll sit there and say, oh, yeah, you want to make things more affordable for you, but then raise your taxes. It's absolutely outrageous. Like, this is like the most duplicitous way to run and to do politics, is sit there in people's face telling them you're going to run on affordability just so you can beat the Republican. Then when you get in there, you completely F it up and just make things more unaffordable. Abigail Spanberger, Zohran Mamdani. And don't worry, we're going to get into Zohran Mamdani next, because this whole situation in New York is pretty interesting.
Democrats, they say, nope, they're not going far enough.
I don't think that the comparisons with Nazi Germany are extreme, because that's what happened too. That's why ordinary German citizens began to accept the idea that certain members of their community would be singled out.
And shout out to my man Gaming as well. He says, what up? Can you play some of the videos I sent you in general and private chat? They are relevant. All right, I got you.
ICE tip lines would be directly targeted in violation of the laws of the land, and it would be done by agents of the state.
ICE tip lines? Walz had COVID snitch lines. And can you believe illegals are the new Jews? Democrats are setting it up so when they take
that is hilarious.
They're going to hold.
No, I remember the Somalians was coming out and talk about, well, you know, Minnesota was promised to us 3,000 years ago, so Americans just need to get down with the get down. I was crying. I was like, okay, bro, I get where you're going. I get where you're going. We deserve this. This is what we was hitting people with when, you know, Israel's bombing Palestinians left and right. We was going like the chosen people, and well, that's what they hit us with. I can respect it.
Nuremberg-style trials and try to hang and incarcerate Miller, Nome, Bovino, ICE agents just for deporting illegals. You don't believe me? Watch.
I think there should be something equivalent to the Nuremberg trials after this is all over.
I agree.
And to make it clear that once we're back in power, which we will be, this is going to happen. And the statute of limitations on murder is
zero.
Never.
Yeah, never.
However, it's the boring that moves the needle.
Democrats want to put you on trial for enforcing the law. Well, you know who might have to take a stand first? Barack Obama.
My job in the executive branch is supposed to be to carry out the laws that are passed. If we start broadening that, then essentially I would be ignoring the law in a way that I think would be very difficult to defend legally. So that's not an option.
But Barack's about as two-faced as...
You know, so crazy though, like Trump and Barack Obama's rhetoric on immigration, they mirror each other almost exactly. I mean, bro, Barack Obama was saying, yo, we need to get the undocumented immigrants in. Bro, he was going mainly on undocumented immigrants. He didn't even bring up the criminal part. He just said, look, a whole bunch of undocumented immigrants came in and we're about to get them out. He rarely talked about the criminal part. Trump, he ran on the criminal part and then turned around and just said, look, yeah, we're going after all of them. And which, well, he kind of was saying, but I think it was the independents and the guys in the middle that thought that we were just going after the criminals, when no, if you're here illegally, yeah, we want you up out of here. And these guys mirrored that exactly. Actually, the only thing that Obama said that Trump didn't say, which I'd love Trump to say, was that we need to go after the employers who are hiring these illegals as well. Because they're basically like modern day slave masters, to be quite honest with you. But I mean, the Dems don't want to approach that topic.
Tampon. Here's what the former president just uttered from an undisclosed location. Quote, it's important to understand the broader implications of what this administration is doing and the threat it poses to the basic freedoms of every American. Barack Hussein deported 3 million illegals. Liberals never rioted, fought ICE, called him a Nazi. Obama.
Yeah, I mean, bro, a lot of them, he did it through expedited removal. I mean, they got no day in court. They got no legal representation. They just said, all right, yeah, you're gone. And expedited removal, I believe, was done under Clinton. And yeah, when under expedited removal, yeah, you don't get no court date. There's no, and your due process is being removed out the United States. You don't get a lawyer, no court date, no nothing. You're just gone.
Gave Homan a medal for deporting so many migrants. But when Trump and Homan do it, they want to put him on trial.
Yep.
This is about power, and it's already slipping away. New York and California are already projected to lose 6 seats after the next census. With mass deportations, it'll reduce their numbers even further. They need to keep the population up to get more federal cash and more congressional seats. Democrats are calling for bills to prohibit ICE from going near the voting booths. The former governor of Washington says Senate Dems need to put into the appropriations bill a prohibition on ICE agents being near polling places. This is a must-have. Last chance to do this.
Wow. Senate Dems need to put into the appropriation bill to prohibit ICE agents being near polling places. Yeah, you know, if they're near polling places and these are legal, you know, immigrants pulling up, they have nothing to worry about. ICE is going to leave them alone. Now, if you're pretty much just admitting to the fact that there are illegals voting in y'all elections, I mean, that's the only reason why you would try to keep ICE out of there. There's really no other reason. And I mean, you can radicalize the idiots in the chat and sit there and be like, oh, well, the ICE is just going to scare them and off. And no, bro. No, you want to hide the fact that you guys actually let illegals vote.
Why do they care if ICE is near a polling station? I thought they didn't vote. In the Senate, Majority Leader John Thune, he wants to require photo ID and U.S. citizenship to.
No, facts, though. Shout out my man Jay. He said Obama was talking like MAGA before MAGA. Bro, when it came to immigration, yeah, he was talking like MAGA. That's what's so funny about it and why these Dems look so hypocritical is because I'm like, you know, the difference between what Obama doing with ICE and what Trump is doing with ICE is this right here. This right here. Cell phone. Everybody got a cell phone to clip it out of context, to take things out of context, and now everybody want to play what was it, armchair quarterback every time these shootings come out. And it's just like, bro, here's a problem. Like, we'd have been seeing the same thing under Obama if everybody was pulling out their phones like this, and there was the same outrage towards Obama, but there wasn't. Not at all. Y'all sat by, y'all let it happen. Shoot, and there were also citizens who got mistakenly deported as well. Y'all didn't talk about it whatsoever. But here you guys are crying, you know, what, like 8 years later, now we're supposed to sit here and think you're being genuine? Okay.
Vote. They're putting that in their next big funding bill next week. This is huge. National photo ID would stop Democrat shenanigans dead in their tracks. Once you realize illegal immigration is the pillar of the Democratic Party, voting, welfare, fraud, congressional districts, you realize why they're fighting to the death in the streets. If they don't like what Trump is doing, well, win an election. That's what Trump did.
Yep.
Donald Trump is doing what the people elected him to do.
Yep. I mean, he won the popular vote, AKA there are more people who voted for Donald Trump than Kamala Harris, AKA there's more people who voted for this ICE enforcement than people who didn't vote for it. I'm sorry, but yeah, you guys think that, oh, no, we're growing in support. No, you guys are just this fringe group that's going out there putting yourselves in danger. And I'm talking to the protesters in Minnesota. Putting yourselves in danger for what? For nothing. For nothing at all. Because what? Renee Good died, and what they do? Double down. Now Alex Pretti died. You know what they're going to do? They're going to retreat for now and then triple down. So get ready. And don't cry. Don't cry. You walked yourself into this. Don't cry about it being a police state. Y'all walked yourselves into it being a police state. Nobody else is doing this but you guys.
Rid of illegal immigration.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to.
It sucks, but it's the truth.